this one. Hello, good evening, legends. This is your host, Clip out in the Club Level Sports Board, live right here in Leesburg, Virginia, Loudoun County area. And today, ladies and gents, I will talk to you guys all about the fact that Brock Lesnar is now a free agent, by the way. You guys didn't realize that. I'm going to talk with you guys also about the fact the IICONICS, Billie Kay Peyton Royce, no more. Talk about the fact that the NFL is going to take over the Washington Football Probe, over the accusations against them of harassment, misconduct, and abuse. Get you guys into that. I'm gonna talk to you guys also about the fact that Joe Nixon, the Bengals, they have agreed to a 4-year, $40 extension offer. Kamaru Usman taking on Gilbert Burns. Now Gilbert Burns was supposed to take on Kamaru Usman back at Fight Island, except Gilbert Burns, he had coronavirus, so he had to pull that match out. So Jorge Masvidal, the BMF champion, he filled that. So I'm gonna get you guys that just for sure. The Billy's birthday is for sure. Zendaya's birthday, and Rocky Marciano's birthday, Tim Harder's birthday as well. Get you guys into the fact that let's see, Randy Orton gets evokes rematch clause against Drew McIntyre, the WWE champ, at Clash of Champions. Get you guys in that just for sure. And basically, Brandon Ingram becoming the 2020 NBA MVP. MIP, by the way. I'll say what Bill Belichick was saying about Cam Newton, by the way, as well. So that's news I will have for today, everybody. And also tonight you'll see a 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match. That's gonna be tonight on NXT Super Tuesday, USA Network, in just a couple of minutes, just a couple of hours from now. So all this I'm gonna have. So that's all this to it. So I'm gonna start things off with the fact that Brock Lesnar, he's not a free agent. After his offer with WWE ran out, by the way. So Brock Lesnar is not a free agent. So the real question that people are gonna ask is where will Brock Lesnar gonna wind up at? Could he now? I could tell you this. Now it was about about a year ago that John Bones Jones called out Brock Lesnar, which he did. And obviously, I think a lot of people have been wanting to see this fight for the past couple months or so. And I think that, since the Brock Lesnar, he walked out, as a former, he's a former UFC champ. He's a former, WWE champ. He's a former Universal champ as well. And the fact that, Brock Lesnar, he hasn't returned to the UFC, but except he did fail a drug test. If he tends to come back to the UFC, by the way, to take on, John Bones Jones, he has to go to the USADA. That is because of a failed drug test, that is. And obviously he did in fact take out Cain Velasquez, like a crown jewel last year. So really, this is a big surprise. And the question you guys are gonna ask is where, he could in fact do so. John Bones Jones versus Brock Lesnar could be the match of the century, which a lot of fans are pertaining to. And even though John Bones Jones, he did vacate the lightweight title, by the way, for sure. The lightweight title, by the way, moved to the heavyweight. So it is safe to say that if in fact that John Bones Jones versus Brock Lesnar happens by the end of this year or in 2021, actually, I would say 2021 because I could say that John Bones Jones versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, if Brock Lesnar does decide to return to the UFC, he's got to go through USADA through a failed drug test, and obviously, John Bones Jones says, I'll destroy Brock Lesnar." So clearly, Brock Lesnar hasn't said anything. So obviously, Brock Lesnar versus John Bones Jones would be the match of the century in UFC, which one of the biggest box office matches in UFC history. I could tell you that much. But obviously, it will be a big surprise. I mean, is there an opponent that Brock Lesnar has never faced at all? I mean, he did face like Randy Couture, Cain Velasquez, who he took out at Crown Jewel. Even though back in 2010 back in 2010 Cain Velasquez took out Brock Lesnar, he faced the likes of, let's see, Alistair Overeem. He's taking on those guys. He's taking on plenty of those guys in there. I'll tell you that. Tito Ortiz as well, but Angel Liddell. But obviously, it's going to be a surprise to see whether or not, or the match that I think a lot of people would pretty much, I think obviously he could take on maybe. I think Brock Lesnar may not have to worry about taking on John Bones Jones. If Brock Lesnar says yes to John Bones Jones, he'll do so. It could happen in 2021. But there's some opponents that Brock Lesnar's never faced throughout his UFC career. I'll name you some of those guys. Black Beast Derek Lewis. Well, man, what's it come? Except he's retired, by the way. He's not coming out retired. I can tell you that. You may see guys such as maybe, well, Stipe Miocic, by the way. If Brock Lesnar faces Stipe Miocic, by the way, who took out DC back at the trilogy fight, by the way, that will be something else. I'll tell you that. That's on the table for him, though. Or maybe he may as well take on Khabib. So Brock Lesnar's got plenty of options that he needs to make. So if he does come back to the UFC, he has to go through the USADA because of a failed drug test that he missed out on it, or that he failed. So that's what he needs. That's what he needs. That's what he needs right there. So Brock Lesnar could take on John Bones Jones, but that would be the match of the century that a lot of people are pretending to see. And that could happen. That could be unraveled in 2021. Make no mistake about that. So Brock Lesnar, he could go to Bellator. He can go to PFL, I guess. He could go to Impact, AEW. I mean, look, if Brock Lesnar considers going to AEW, my goodness, I mean, if he does, in fact, show up at All Out, which is this coming Saturday, by the way. That right there would be shattering the glass. That would shatter the glass ceiling. If he shows up there, oh man, that'll show up for the AEW. I'll tell you that'll show up for AEW. I mean, Brock Lesnar does show up to AEW. That is something a lot of people would want to see. I mean, where he shows up the Bellator to take on Ryan Bader, take on any of those guys. That could happen. He can sign the Bellator if he wants to. If in fact the Brock Lesnar wants to go to New Japan Pro, that's fair and all. I mean, he did compete in New Japan Pro back, I think back in like 90s, 2000s, by the way. He could do so on his own. He may as well, in fact, maybe compete in, sign up for bare knuckle boxing. Or excuse me, bare knuckle fighting championship, BKFC, by the way. If he signs there, worth the wait. So Brock Lesnar got plenty of options, a plethora of options he has to make, though. So where would you guys want to see Brock Lesnar? Do you guys want to see him in AEW? Want to see him go to, well, Bellator, Ring of Honor, Reality of Wrestling? You want to see him on Impact? Do you want to see him on maybe New Japan Pro, NJPW? Would you want to see him maybe make an appearance at AEW or All Out, which he could? So that would be a big surprise right there. I mean, I would say that's one of the biggest surprises the AEW would ever witness. And man, the roof be coming on fire. I mean, the roof be on fire in that place. I'll tell you that much. But Mike, oh man, if he comes back there, if he arrives there, that's pretty big, pretty big. If he goes to bare knuckle fighting championship, he'll sign there. I can say that. But where, I mean, since the WWE offer ran out, by the way, and that Paul Heyman's aligned himself, has shockingly aligned himself up with Roman Reigns, who got back the Universal title. So that was this past Sunday, Payback, by the way. So Brock Lesnar, he's got a plethora of options he has to make. It's one, he goes back to UFC for a final fight. Could be against John Bones Jones, by the way. But he has to go through the USA today because of a failed drug test. Do you see him do you see him going to Reality of Wrestling? Do you see him going to Ring of Honor, Impact, NJPW? Do you see him going to Pro Wrestling Noah, MLW? Do you see him going to Bloodsport, I guess? Like, where would you guys want to see Brock Lesnar at? So let me know in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to address response to that. And that is all I will have for that. So wherever he goes, decision's his. And who would you want to see Brock Lesnar face if he comes in with the UFC and tries to at least pass the drug test USADA? So you guys want to take on John Bones Jones, and that fight could happen in 2021, I'm assuming. Could it be against Stipe Miocic, who took out DC Daniel Cormier in the trilogy fight? Want to see him take on, well, Khabib? Could that happen in 2021? Would you guys want to see that match? The Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Would that occur? Or would you guys want to see him take on Cowboy Cerrone? So it's for a final fight though. So that's the match a lot of people guys want to see. Those are plethora of options he has to make. Or you guys gonna see him sign to Bellator. So let me know what you think. I'll address the response to that. Let me know what do you think the best destination, the best destination is for Brock Lesnar. I'll address the response to that, and that is all I will have for that. So that's no there is to it. Other news: what happened? I'll tell you about what happened on Monday Night Raw last night. The IICONICS, they become split items. They broke up after Ruby Ryan and Liv Morgan. They get a women's tag team title opportunity against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the women's tag team titles. So the IICONICS, they are no more. Now the IICONICS, they are the former longest reigning women's tag team champs for sure. And the fact that now they are no more. And then next thing you know it, they wind up on Raw Underground, and Peyton Royce throws Billie Kay to Jessamyn Duke, who took out Avery Taylor, and the Marina Shafir, zooming up Moldova, who did good last week and took out Jayme and Jameson. Tell you that. But Jessamyn Duke, Peyton Royce, she threw Billie Kay through the Raw Underground, surrounded with Marina Shafir, Suma from Moldova, and Jessamyn Duke. So Jessamyn Duke kicks Billie Kay. I gotta love it. That was just fun to watch. I gotta tell you right now. So the IICONICS, no more. So stipulation was whoever gets the women's title 10 must disintegrate. So the IICONICS have disintegrated, and that's all I can say, everybody, for that. So the IICONICS are no more. And now the IICONICS are no more. That's all right. That's it. They're done. So there's and also retribution, that is. You gotta be kidding me. These retribution guys, come on. They took out Street Profits, Andrade in the middle of a tag team tornado match. And they took out Zelina Vega as well. So that doesn't look good. So you saw let's see, Angel Garza get out Demi Burnett out of there for good. And then, it was just off. That's just brutal, right? That's just absolutely brutal. So, oh my goodness. So Angel Garza running for his life, and even Demi Burnett was running for her life. And even though Demi Burnett gave a little smooch to Ivar of the Viking Raiders, that was best news yet. So that's pretty good news. Also, guys, that Paulo Cruz was facing Sean Benjamin at Raw Underground. So tell you though that the Hurt Business, once again, they took over Raw Underground, and they're doing business pretty good. I'll tell you that much. So that's pretty good news right there. I mean, Cedric Alexander, he pinned MVP, and then backstage, Cedric Alexander gets attacked by the Hurt Business. So what do you expect right there? So that's all there is, and that's all there is you gotta know in that part. So that's all there is. Also, this, so guys, that Randy Orton is gonna once again is gonna evoke his rematch clause against Drew McIntyre for the WWE title at Clash of Champions. Keith Lee qualified, Seth Rollins qualified, And then you had Randy Orton qualify as well. I mean, what was Randy Orton doing in the middle? What was Randy Orton getting out of Aleister Black's room? What was he doing? What was he doing? They have a conversation. So then Aleister Black once again attacks Kevin Owens. No one knows what I mean. So yeah, Aleister Black. I mean, he did so last. They did so once again. So clearly, Aleister Black is taking out Kevin Owens once again. Then Randy Orton. Like something is going on there. I don't know what it is, but Aleister Black right now. Don't know where your head's at, but just seems like he's just like not quite there. So it's like a new side of him though. So that's all there is you need to know on that. So obviously this is probably a big surprise and biggest heel turn. Services that eye injury seen from by the hands of Buddy Murphy. I was attacking Kevin Owens for no apparent reason. Randy Orton getting out of his locker room and Aleister Black coming out and then attacking Kevin Owens once again. That says a lot. I mean, you might as well see Kevin Owens versus Aleister Black at Clash of Champions. I'm assuming that could happen. So I'm looking forward to that. So then at the end of the night, Randy Orton, by the way, he got his punch taken once again. I mean, look, it should have been Keith Lee. Keith Lee did a spare bomb on Seth Rollins, and then Randy Orton just RKO's Keith Lee, and then pins Seth Rollins. But oh man, my vote was on Keith Lee to get a WWE title opportunity against Drew McIntyre at Clash of Champions. I mean, best friends that is going at it. I mean, look, you guys would have witnessed that match, but oh man, I had Keith Lee. My vote was on Keith Lee. Keith Lee had a golden ticket, that is, for Clash of Champions, and all that was taken away by the hands of Randy Orton. Keith Lee took out Randy Orton at Payback this past Sunday, and you guys have seen that. I said yesterday that Keith Lee, he was supposed to be, he could be future WWE champion. Unfortunately, that's not going to occur at Clash of Champions. Now Keith Lee was not pinned last night, but Randy Orton, he pinned Seth Rollins. So clearly, Keith Lee, there's no room for next time, Keith Lee. So Keith Lee is gonna one day insert himself to the WWE title picture. I'll tell you that right now. He will in the future. May not be a Clash of Champions, but even though I voted Keith Lee to get a WWE title opportunity, even though he still doesn't deserves one, she does, and that's all there is to it. So sorry guys, Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre Clash of Champions for WWE title. That's not gonna occur. It's gonna be Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre once again. I mean, Drew McIntyre defeated Randy Orton at SummerSlam last week, and then Drew McIntyre is gonna defend the WWE title against Randy Orton at Clash of Champions. That's September 27th, by the way, live on the WWE Network. So what's the condition for Drew McIntyre after he had a hairline skull fracture? So is he gonna make it there? So this is the final ways for you. You also find out soon. That's all there is to it. You need to know on that, and that's like I say that. Also though, for sure that Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, they're women's tag team champs, and well, big surprise there. So they've been at each other's throats for weeks, and they still don't like each other. Now it's women's tag team champs. Clearly they don't. So that's all there is you gotta know for that. So nothing more to that. I mean, Randy Orton, he should not have getting the top opportunity. I mean, I know that's what deserves one, but it should have been Keith Lee. It just may be a triple threat match instead. So Keith Lee did defeat Randy Orton at Payback. So that says it all. So the match could change in a couple of weeks, I'm assuming. So that's all there is you need to know on that. And that all can change. So you never know what to think of it. So what I say about that. Also, another thing I want to point out, I want to address you guys about the Washington Football Probe, by the latest on the Washington Football Probe. So you guys remember that there were allegations of Washington football team that were being under fire of harassment, misconduct, and abuse, by the way. And then now the NFL sort of chimes on in here, and obviously, they're gonna take over this whole thing. So we're here, the fans. So we're here. It's gonna be they're gonna see through the results of the investigation. By the way, it's gonna be complete and trusted by the fans, players, viewers, employees, and the public, by the way. Now, the attorneys by names of Deborah Katz and Lisa Banks, and also law firm by the name of Beth Wilkinson, they're investigating this whole thing as well. Now, the other former employees and current employees, they're told to create now some of these former employees, they were told to create a lewd video showing Dan Snyder featuring with nude cheerleaders at some behind the scenes pulled from a just 08 swimsuit